Hello students, in this video I am going to explain you about the in-text question given in NCERT, that is, can you find out why the distance between two polynucleotide chains in DNA remains constant, almost constant. Okay, this is because of, the answer is, this is because of the complementary base pairing between the nitrogen bases of opposite strands present in double-stranded DNA. So this is the answer. To understand this answer, first I will explain you about the structure of DNA. So let's go to the structure of DNA now. Nucleotide chains. This double-stranded DNA is made up of two polynucleotide chains. Each polynucleotide chain is made up of many nucleotides. Hence, it is called polynucleotide chain. Poly means many. It is made up of many nucleotides like this. All these nucleotides are joined together to form a polynucleotide chain. In the same way, the other polynucleotide chain is also formed by the joining of many nucleotides like this. After formation of these two polynucleotide chains, they are joined together by the formation of hydrogen bonds between the nitrogen bases present in the opposite strands. This I will explain you. So each nucleotide is made up of three components. They are deoxyribose sugar, nitrogen base, and phosphate. So this is the structure of deoxyribose sugar. So first position, first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon. To this deoxyribose sugar, when nitrogen base joins, that becomes a nucleoside. And the bond formed between this nitrogen base and deoxyribose sugar is called as glycosidic bond. Okay, now this sugar plus nitrogen base is called as, together it is called as nucleoside. Now phosphate joins with the sugar to form a nucleotide. Phosphate joins with the sugar at its fifth carbon atom by the removal of this hydroxyl group. So the bond formed here is called as phosphoester bond. Phosphoester bond. So nitrogen base joins with the sugar at its first carbon atom by the formation of glycosidic bond. Phosphate attaches with the sugar at its fifth carbon atom by the formation of phosphoester bond. So like this, one nucleotide is formed. So sugar plus nitrogen base plus phosphate together is called as nucleotide. So now we studied about the formation of one nucleotide. Let's study how next nucleotide is formed and so on, and how all these nucleotides are joined with one another. So this is the next nucleotide. Like this, next nucleotide is formed. This is sugar, first position, second position, third position, fourth position, and fifth carbon, right? And here also nitrogen base is attached at the first carbon atom by the formation of an glycosidic bond, and phosphate is attached at fifth carbon atom by the formation of phosphodiester bond. Right, now this is next nucleotide. Now this nucleotide joins with the already existing nucleotide by the formation of phosphodiester bond. So joining of one nucleotide with its adjacent nucleotide or successive nucleotide occurs by the formation of phosphodiester bond. That bond is formed between the third carbon atom of the sugar of first nucleotide and phosphate attached to the fifth carbon atom of the sugar of next nucleotide. So this is one ester bond formed between the phosphate of one nucleotide and sugar of adjacent nucleotide. This is one ester bond and this is another ester bond. These two ester bonds are phosphoester bonds. So two together are called as phosphodiester bonds. Phosphodiester bonds. Like this, one nucleotide joins with the next one and so on to form a polynucleotide chain. I will draw one more nucleotide now. Chain is formed. Now we have studied the formation of one polynucleotide chain. Let's see the formation of next nucleotide chain, opposite polynucleotide chain. So in the same way, pentose sugar is there. That is deoxyribose sugar, first carbon, second carbon, third, fourth, and here fifth carbon is there. To this fifth carbon, phosphate is attached. So like this, phosphate is attached to this fifth carbon. Now to the at the first carbon, what will be attached? Nitrogen base is attached by the formation of what type of bond? Glycosidic bond, N-glycosidic bond. Nitrogen base is attached. In the same way, next nucleotide is also formed and so on. Both of these nucleotides are joined by the formation of phosphodiester bond again. So phosphate attached to the fifth position of the sugar of one nucleotide joins with the third position of the sugar of next nucleotide. So like this, one more nucleotide, opposite nucleotide chain, polynucleotide chain is also formed. So after formation of two polynucleotide chains like this, opposite strands like this, now there is formation of hydrogen bonds between these two opposite strands. Hydrogen bonds are formed between these two opposite strands. Let's see how these hydrogen bonds are formed. So if adenine is present here, thymine will be here. So the bonds formed are hydrogen bonds, and two hydrogen bonds are formed between adenine and thymine. Adenine and thymine. If guanine is present over here, here cytosine. So three bonds are formed between guanine and cytosine. If again thymine is present over here, here adenine will be there. So two hydrogen bonds are formed. So this is called complementary base pairing. Adenine always pairs with thymine and thymine always pairs with adenine. In the same way, guanine always pairs with cytosine and cytosine always pairs with the guanine. So this is called complementary base pairing. So because of these hydrogen bonds which are formed between the complementary bases, the distance between two polynucleotide chains. So this is one polynucleotide chain and this is another polynucleotide chain. Distance between these two polynucleotide chains, distance is nothing but it represents the width of double helical DNA. Distance between two polynucleotide chains or the width of double helical DNA will be almost constant. Is almost constant. Now let's see this with the help of NCERT diagrams. So these are two strands of DNA. Here it is given double-stranded polynucleotide chain. In this double-stranded polynucleotide chain, this is one strand and this is the opposite strand. This is the opposite strand. Right? So here, let's study about this strand first. So this is sugar, and what are the positions? First position, second position, third position, fourth position, fifth position, right? Here, phosphate is attached at fifth position and nitrogen base is attached at first position. So this is one nucleotide, adenylic acid, as the nitrogen base is adenine. Next nucleotide is this is sugar, this is phosphate attached to the fifth position, and in the same way at the first position, first carbon, nitrogen base is attached, that is thymine. So this is the nucleotide called thymidilic acid. This is the next nucleotide. So these nucleotides are joined together by the formation of phosphodiester bond. between the third carbon atom of the first nucleotide and the phosphate attached to the sugar of the next nucleotide. So, like this, phosphodiester bond is formed. In the same way, opposite strand is also formed, and now complementary base pairing is taking place between the nitrogen bases of opposite strand. This is one nitrogen base, that is adenine, present in this strand, and this is thymine present in this strand. As these two are complementary with one another, base pairing always occurs between adenine and thymine. That means adenine always pairs with thymine or thymine pairs with adenine. In the same way, guanine pairs with cytosine or cytosine pairs with guanine by the formation of three hydrogen bonds in between. So here it is shown hydrogen bonds. Because of the formation of hydrogen bonds between the complementary bases, the width, what is this width? This one, the distance, this distance. This is called length. This is length of polynucleotide chain. This is the width of double helical structure of DNA. So, the distance between two polynucleotide chains is almost constant because of the complementary base pairing between the nitrogen bases of opposite strands. So, let's see the double helical structure of DNA here, which is given over here. So, this is the backbone formed by sugar and phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate. Okay, like this, sugar and phosphate is forming backbone, and nitrogen bases are projected towards inner side. Like this, adenine pairs with thymine only by the formation of two hydrogen bonds in between. Guanine pairs with cytosine only by the formation of three hydrogen bonds in between. So like this, complementary base pairing occurs between the nitrogen bases of opposite strands, due to which the distance between two polynucleotide chains, this distance between two polynucleotide chains is almost constant. This distance also represents the width of DNA, the width of double helical DNA, that is double helical DNA, double stranded DNA, that is 20 angstroms, which is always constant, which can be 2.0 nanometers, or we can say 2 nanometers. So this is the answer for this question. And another question is here, that is compare the structure of purines and pyrimidines. For this question, I explained in the previous video, yesterday's video. Please do watch that video also. Along with this, I want to explain you what is the polarity, what is this 5' end and what is this 3' end of this strands present in double-stranded DNA. So the polarity of this strand is 3' to 5'. So 3' to 5' strand. Why it is called 3' to 5'? Because at this end, hydroxyl group is free. It is ready to join with the next nucleotide that comes downwards. And at this end, phosphate group is free. So it is 5' end. Coming to this strand. In case of this strand, the polarity of this strand is 5' to 3' because phosphate present at this end is free. And that is at the fifth position of the carbon atom. Phosphate attached to the fifth carbon atom is free. And here hydroxyl group present at this end. Hydroxyl group present hydroxyl group present at this end, which is attached to the 3 carbon atom, is free. Hence it is called 3' end. It is ready to bind with this third carbon atom of the sugar is ready to bind with the next nucleotide that comes downstream. So this is with 5' to 3' polarity, this strand, and this strand is with 3' to 5' polarity. 3' to 5' polarity. Hope you understood this concept. Thank you, students.